All right, you guys, back with another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me. And let's get to this live. Donald Trump will not live too long. The trouble of America, no peace. Now, we know that the government is on the brink of a shutdown. And Donald Trump, when it comes to the president, see, Trump, he's a good, excessive liar. See, it's not the Democrat that's trying to shut things down, but it's the party, it's the Republicans, the House of Representatives. And see, Trump don't have too long. How long do y'all think Trump has? Because he don't have long before he goes. So if they want to reset things, don't bother us. Trump don't have long. What do a 79 pushing 80? He don't have long, my brothers and sisters. You know, this is a day of America's downfall. And every eye will see. So we see the trouble of America. There's no peace. So America is trying to hold her place as the greatest power amongst the nations of earth. Is one of the most troubled countries we see on earth today. The world has never before seen the top rulers of land leave in office to visit nations abroad. And the purpose of these visits to foreign countries is to make peace with them after years of troubling them. America brought all of her troubles upon herself. You see, she's alone to be charged with being the cause of the troubled world and people today. You see, when it comes to white America, they love meddling into other people's affairs. She just cannot stay out of other people's business, whether they be a 2 cent worth soapbox teacher or presidents and kings of countries. America actually fits the description of the prophecy we see, the Bible. We see the beasts have eyes around and about. This refers to her mechanical listening devices, which America listen in on other people's private affairs, as well as to listen in on governmental affairs. This also refers to our powerful telescopes. America goes aboard and make war against other people. Then she charged them with making war against her when she is the one who is guilty of making war. See, America is guilty with everything she's doing. And she knows she will be the losers. See, this is the fall of white America that is coming. See, the Bible says Allah God will destroy those who like themselves and making war. We see when it comes, my brothers, to this fall and rise of nations. Now, we have past history that teach us of the fall and rise of many nations. However, in this day after this destruction of the nations, there will be no rise of these destroying nations, because Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, will destroy those who cause evil to spread far and wide. He will destroy those who love to make war on others, as it is written, we see in Psalm 68, verse 30. During the whole time we see of the mischief makers, the devil, 6,000 years on our planet, there have been one war right after another. There have never been peace amongst them. You cannot live with them in peace. Peace was never in the nature of the right race. The right race was made to destroy the peace from the earth, and they had just about destroyed the peace from the earth. Now, the Bible Isaiah, as it is written, the people know not the way of peace. Why should peace lovers want the world to live in where we see there is no peace? If peace can be established, the nation wants peace, but they cannot have peace until the power of the peace breakers have been broken. So America, today we see when it comes to white America, America is angry over the possible freedom of a one slave to go from himself and set up self-independency. See, America is angry and does not want the black slave to seek some other nations to help him. So now, when it comes to America, she's in this trouble today. And when it comes to all the trouble she had committed, there are other nations we see whose population runs into hundreds, we see, of millions of people. And we see these hundreds of millions of people of the nation have sympathy for the black man in America. And now, if other nations want to give this black man America any aid. Why America wants to hinder us now? And people who are that wicked against black people, whom they had for 400 years. See, Allah God should not have any compassion on his destruction of them, nor should a nation on earth have compassion on white America. Because white America is wicked beyond your and my imagination. See, white America turns the world into evil field. You cannot go out into their streets accompanied by your decent families without you being made ashamed of the work of the white man. He made it lawful for people to go nude if they want to do so. See, my brothers and sisters, it's a dangerous world for a person who loves to live in peace, who desires to keep his own property as well as his life. We see it's a dangerous world. See the rise of ancient Babylon with her persecution of the righteous amongst her, and with her hatred we see of the Jews and their religion. Babylon was brought to nothing. Now, is white America better than ancient Babylon? No, we see the people of Noah commit the same evil and the same unsightly filth that is going on here in America today. But the evil and filth of the present day of America is being committed on a larger scale than that committed in the days of Noah. We see the people of Noah was drowned and destroyed. So it was the people of Lot, Solomon, and Gomorrah wickedness and filth had become the orders of the day. Those wicked people was removed from our planet. Now, is white America any better? No. White America is worse than that of ancient people. See, white America see that we, the Islamic believers, the Muslims, want to do something for self and our black kind. But white America opposed us to a degree that she destroyed our cattle, our farm and instruments, and our machineries. We see white America wants to destroy our life. See, white America is planning to destroy our life. But Allah God too is planning. And Allah God is the best of the planner. We see this fall and rise of nations. So it don't concern me that the government wants to shut this thing down. See, they planning this scheme, but God too is planning. And he's the best planner. See, he knows their thoughts before they was ever made. See, Trump is going to die. He's old. He's old. He don't have long. So let them do what they want, because he's going to die. And I say that because he's not going to live too much longer. He don't have long. He's going to rot. Believe me. And God will cause this man to rot. He don't have long. Trump will deteriorate. He will decline at some point. He's going to die. He's going to rot. He's old. So let them continue to do what they want to do, because he's going to die. He's going to fall out somewhere. So when we see the fall and rise of nations, see, the quickest way from white America to hasten or fall is to try and to mistreat and to do evil to me and my followers. The quickest way from white America to receive or approaching our doom is for America to always to try to find some way to block the success of Allah God and guide me and those who are following me. America, as soon as white America learn that we are trying to purchase the wholesome quantity of low prices merchandise from Japan for the benefits, all my black people in America. America goes in to make it hard for me and my followers to purchase and to receive anything from outside of America at a lower price than we pay to America. This is evil we see on the parts of America. So now, America, as soon as white America learned that we are trying to purchase a whole quantity of low prices merchandise from Japan for the benefit of all my black people in America. America goes to make it hard for me and my fathers to purchase and receive anything from outside of America at a lower price than we pay to white America. This is evil on the parts of America. Now I said America will have to learn this. America will have to learn that we, the black people in America, are the brothers of the black people, the brown people, the yellow people, and the red people. We have many Muslims in these lands, and to try to interfere with the success of the Muslims in America, which is coming from Allah God Himself. Allah God will continue to infuse America, and she will have the loss of her victory any land and amongst any people on earth, the fall and rise of nations. She had become the habitation of devils. This white America, the glory of the world we see in wealth, sport, and play, with her merchants, ships prolong the high seas, carrying her costly merchandise throughout this population of the nations of this earth. See the Bible, Revelation 18:19. The ships we see of America can be seen everywhere, in every part of the nation of earth. Her great navies is built to command high seas. Her decks are mounted with great bursting rifle barrel guns. You see, the decks of her ships are covered with planes, which to carry deadly bombshells to pour on other nations who dare now to reject her interests into the water. The writer John foresaw America threaten and daring the nation to disobey her orders to allow her interests. American Navy planes fly high in the air with their deadly bombs held ready to drop on towns and cities, other nations who dare to attack her. Skies over America is shadowed with thousands we see of planes, but yet the grievous destruction awaits America. America sent planes flying out of her country to shoot herself out into space by the means of the most modern rocket designed for space travels. At home, we see America country is as the prophet foresaw and prophesied suffered. America is covered with planes and an army standing ready to stop inside rebellions. The prophet foresaw all of his readiness and preparations for the war showdown. A military might says, whom to land shallow with wings. The Bible, Isaiah 18, verse 1. America, take a look around the dead pieces of our earth, the moon. She wants to see if they can do her harm. America, take a look at Venus and Mars to see if there are signs of any God on this planet or capable of warring with her. America boasts of her ability to kill the civilization of Earth 3 times over and have an army left to attack anywhere else. An army may rise up against her. The kings who were the world ruler of their day and time made great boasts. See, Pharaoh also made great mock of Allah Jehovah and his power to attack Pharaoh in the Holy Quran. Pharaoh says the most is concerning Allah, the Lord of the world. Surah 20:49. Who is your Lord, O Moses? Pharaoh said to his slave Moses in words to say, we take another God besides me, the Holy Quran. Surah 20:71. So our Pharaoh shall cut off your hands and feet on opposite sides. But Israel took another God, Allah, Jehovah beside Pharaoh, and they did not lose their hands and feet on opposite sides. The people cried about death and destruction playing the habit over America, but they never cried about the evil that they are committing, and which is the cause of this destruction coming to our borders, bringing flood. We see rain, ice, hail, and earthquakes daily, nightly, somewhere on the surface of the land of America. The Bible refers to white America by the name of Babylon. Teach us. Revelation 18, verse 2. Babylon the Great, we see, is falling. Is falling. She become the habitation of devils and a hold every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean and hateful birds. This is true, for America has set immigrants are the most lured characters from Europe. But America have filled her country with evil, and there is no good we see in the work of America. America hates the doers of good and seeks to destroy them. This is the cause of the fall of America. Now, you can bear witness to these deadly storms and twisters that are striking America and the area where some of you live. Now, can you not see that Allah God is after you for the evil done to his people, black man? Now, when it comes to the rich, the wealthy, and the powerful rulers of America, from the mayors of their cities, the police commissioner, up to the president, works to oppose the black one slave return to his own. Now, Trump don't have long. He's going to die. I hate to say it like that to y'all. He's going to die. Because when it comes to the president works to oppose the black one slave to return to his own. See, Trump don't have long, y'all. See, the president, when it comes to your president, your world leaders, they work to oppose the black one slave return to his own. And we see all of this hasten their doom. As the Bible, Psalms chapter 2, verse 4, teach us. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them. So Allah God laugh at their struggles to bring to nothing his aim and purpose of freedom, justice, and equality to his black people. Allah God have the heads of America in confusion to the limits of theirs. Another place we see, the Bible teach us that he Allah would turn them backwards. See Isaiah 44:25. See, evil and filth are the God and worship of America. Never had a people on the face of the earth become so bold in their evil practices. Never before America had there been a nation we see on the face of the earth where scores of murders take place daily and nightly in one metropolitan city of America. The death rate is terrific. Children kill children, we see. Males against males, females against females, destroying each other. See, the women have no shyness. The American designers we see and manufacturers will dress the woman up about 1/3 of her dress and turn her out partly nude before the public. You will not expect to witness this in a country that preach Christ Jesus and have church dotted here and there throughout the land. You can hardly walk 2 or 3 blocks we see in a city without walking into a door of a church. We see the Christians profess to be the most truly righteous people in their country. See, all night long their voices are heard. on the air, preaching Jesus Christ, the prophet who lived 2,000 years ago. His dead cannot hear the prayers of anyone, not even his own. The Christian preacher tried to fool you by telling you that if you pray to the prophet Jesus that he will hear you. This is false. He cannot hear you. If that was true, why cannot they get him to hear them when they call for peace anywhere? So they call themselves peace-loving Christians. You see, the Christian rest practice the worst crimes and practice to the fullest, and seeking them to practice them on other nations. See, the Christian ever parading with their bold half nude girls and women. They are parading before your eyes and my eyes. So the Christian preachers, they don't preach or what they practice. They even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent peace. So the great deceivers will reap what they have sown. So we see when we look at this society, when I look at Minneapolis and I look at Michigan, when we look at the Mormon churches, see, they don't practice what they preach. See, they fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but represent peace. They have not been a good Christian. So this is false. Now, the Christian preachers will like to fool you that if you pray now to the prophet Jesus, he will hear you. See, this is false. He cannot hear. If that was true now, why cannot they get him to hear them when they call for peace anywhere? Their documents is used to deceive this black man so that he would stay on his knees praying to something that he would never get an answer. You would never get an answer from a dead prophet. You have to pray to the Most High. Jesus couldn't tell it all, but Jesus was only leading you to the Father. Now, what kind of little girl can be respected from a mother who's walking around one half naked and is displaying herself to the world? We see dressed in such a dress that no animal will wear. There is more shyness and display we see in animals than there is in the so-called Christian Americans dressed in a mini dress. Now the black woman should be too proud of herself to disgrace herself in the same matter as a white slave mistress. So the black man should be sent to prison for being such a fool as to allow his wife and daughter to go out and show themselves to the public. Now, nudity is originated from the white race. Now they want to say to the world that I'm the guide. The guide to what? The Holy Quran says that it will only lead you to nothing but filth and evil. The Bible is referring to the people of America when it's referring to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Allah God destroyed them when he saw that it was good to do so. Genesis 19 verse 13, as it was with Sodom and Gomorrah, so would it be with America. Now I told y'all, man, I've been telling y'all that they don't have no future for you. They're on the break of a shutdown. They don't even care about their own people. Y'all about to see the fallout here. Trump is old, man. Trump is going to do what he want to do. He's old, man. He's not going to be here too long. He's old. You see, he's old. He got that Jeffrey Epstein list all hovering over him. So yeah, they want to shut down, man. But look, man, Trump ain't going to be here with us too long, man. And should no one, and I said, should no one have sympathy for all the trouble he caused. He done lied from day one, ever since he stepped in office. He have not kept nothing straight. He promised that we will not go on a shutdown. So much now we see it's at stake. Trump is going to rot. He's not going to be here with us too long. And I don't have sympathy at all. I don't, man. When he dies and rot, I don't give a damn. All y'all can grieve, mourn. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to mourn for this man. When his time is here, his time, because he gonna have to go. Every person on this earth, when they name get called upon, when the time is here, oh, they gotta go. They gotta go. So nothing, my brothers and sisters, should surprise us. This don't surprise me. Now, when it comes to this mystery of Babylon, the Great, which refer to America, see, according to the English interpretation, the word mystery means unknown, uncertain, obscure, concealed, a secret kept to oneself, between you and me. See, locked up something that have not been or cannot be explained. And theologically, it is supposed truth or facts of great religious import, which is beyond human comprehension. We see, in the time of the translation of the Bible into the English, some of all other scholars was neither without spiritual understanding or downright crook who sought to hide that truth in a book that they thought would reveal to the world their untrue self. The mystery Babylon had not come to existence. In ancient time, Babylon under the kings was the great city of idol worship and evil. She was the queen of evil, we see, rich and well fortified. But this mystery Babylon must refer to a future city of people. No city of people answer the description better than the city and people of America. This mystery Babylon just cannot be the ancient Babylon, as we know her history. You must remember that I'm interested in bringing the truth to my people as clear as sunshine. So be not disturbed in seeing and hearing it the clear and simple way. My people are the blind, deaf, and dumb of the nations of this earth. It must be taught the truth by one who knows it. I'm he who knows the truth, and I have been missioned from the Lord of the world to tell the truth, whether it's to your liking or disliking. America and her future was not known in the days when the Bible was being translated into the English language. Not until 1611 did the translators bring into existence what is known, we see, as the King James Authorized Version. According to the history, there were several attempts made before to get the people in the English language, but it was met with opposition. America was discovered in 1492. These first translation of the Bible was far more near the truth than these later translations. So-called Negro slave was not even given the King James Version to read until it was over 300 years old. The white slave master was not interested in educating the religious Negroes. There are not today. The so-called Negro now must understand that which was hidden from them by the slave masters. The mystery Babylon the Great is none other than white America. We see this mystery Babylon is full of riches, hatred, filth, fornication, adultery. We see drunkenness, murder, innocent, and idol worship. Mystery Babylon is full of names of blasphemy. See, America is full of our religious faith we see of the most ignorant kind. She was once the greatest sale buyer and seller. See, this is why you got Christian nationalism. This is why a nation divided. You got all this hatred here. You don't have no good Christians in America because you got this racism when it comes to this Christian nationalism. And she has the greatest merchants we see. Marine service. The world we see greatest expert shippers. And the merchandise we see of wheats, beasts, sheeps, horses. We see chariots, gold, silver, iron, brass, wood, slave flying, flour, corn, and many others. Now, you must know that all of these revelations, or at least 90%, is directed to white America. The 17 we see in 18th chapter should open the so-called Negro eyes to the right race and right Christianity. See, there is no hereafter for the right race. And they know that there is no hereafter. Some few who are in Asia will stick around for a while. See, America seems to be the answer to many of the Bible and Holy Quran prophecy. And this mention we see in Jeremiah 51 verse 9. That ancient Babylon could have been healed, but she was not, for wickedness was such that she was neither healed nor forgiven. The charge against ancient Babylon, according to history, was that she persecuted and imprisoned the Jews. She brought them into captivity from Jerusalem after the taking of Jerusalem by the kings. The kings was also punished for his part in enslavement, according to ancient history of Babylon. The king had among the Jews whom he held in captivity Daniel, a prophet of Israel. See, the king did not like Daniel and his prophethood, but he was able to get Allah's prophecy of destruction of Babylon from Daniel. Remember, he still held Daniel as slave and a prisoner with the other common Jews. Under the king, we see Daniel was still alive and was used for revealing God's aim and purpose against Babylon. After studying history, we see a destruction of ancient Babylon under these two kings. See, we have a very good geographic picture pointing to a future people and country. The word, we will have healed Babylon. See, we will have healed America, but she is not healed. And do not say why she was not healed. Was there a possible chance for the Babylonians being forgiven because of the evil done to the Jews? The sacking of Jerusalem, we see the destruction of their temples and the bringing out from her temples the sacred vessels to be used for sport under their reign. Now, could this crime of the Babylonians be forgiven? If not forgiven, now what does this teach us? Is not the history of ancient Babylon unforgiven? Evil, we see a sign that the future enslavement of God's people, American so-called Negro, will not be forgiven. Yet there may be a chance, as Babylon had, but they will not do that which God desired them to do, so that he may pardon them and forgive them and prolong their time. See, they're not going to do that, which, you know what I mean, is not in their nature, so that their time can be prolonged, so that God can put a great extension of time. See, when I see a government shutdown, I only see because Trump wants to suppress his power. Trump is going to rot. He's going to rot. He's going to die because it's going to come back on him. See, a man will reap what he sowed. See, the Bible says, "Thou hast done, so shall it be done to you." See, in Luke 6:31, do to others as you want them to do to you. You see, eat America. Help yourself to the desert of the earth, which you have prepared for us. See, you eat it now. See, all praise are due to Allah, the Lord of the world. Trump, see, he's not going to last too long. He's not. So let them come and do what they came here to do. So we see, when it comes to the revelation of John, prophesies world that they repent not of the evil deeds, but blasphemy the very name of God. Revelation 16:9. Therefore, when a man is guilty of a great evil done against the cause of God and his people, he cannot be forgiven unless he seeks forgiveness himself. Now, Trump is a successful liar. You can't believe what he say. The Democrat is not asking for a shutdown. It's the Republicans fail to comply. I want y'all to understand. Don't be a fool. See, Trump got so much at stake that the Epstein list. See, this is why Trump wants the shutdown. The Epstein list. Everybody's talking about it. But if he do a government shutdown, it will go away. Now, I want y'all to use y'all discernment, man. Think logic. Don't be a fool. Trump got so much over him. If he do a government shutdown, they would be talking about this. Trump is going to die. He's old. So let him do what he came here to do. He's not going to last too long. So when we see this in the working of this fall of white America today, I said fall, for most surely this is the divine fall of white America. As it was, we see, of ancient Babylon, for its evil done to the Jews. We got to keep this thing real. I don't care about YouTube flagging this. I don't give a damn. Let's go. We see even to this late date, see why America does not want to repent of her evil done to her black slaves. See, I had given her a right chance, but she does not want to do justice by her free slave to get the extension of time from Allah God. She should free the slave indeed. The ignorant ones who want to stay with her just because they are too lazy to accept their own responsibilities or too much in love with these unlike white people who have attracted them to such extent that they have become a charm, want to remain with this white master even if they are just given food and shelter. This type of people is not wanted by any nations, because no nation wants slaves on the base of taking a responsibility to care for them when they can care for themselves. See, the American black one slave for 400 years have now become a free, proud slave, and their lover or their children's or they once slave masters. The refusal of white America to do something about justice for a so-called free slave is bringing her into the same type of judgment that God brought upon ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 51:45 mentioned a warning to the people of God to flee out of Babylon. Could this be referring to the captive Jews of ancient Babylon? That God called the ancient Jews his people. It was for a sign of a future people that he would choose to call his people the American so-called Negro. The black people of America today are called his chosen people by God himself, chosen by him to build a new government based upon truth, freedom, justice, and equality. This type of government is to live forever and never to be removed from the people, according to Daniel's prophecy of a kingdom of God set up in these last days, the governments of which will not be left to the people. God himself will be the heads and the rulers. In ancient Babylon history, the enslaved Jews was ordered to flee out of her mills and be delivered, every man his soul, from the furious anger of the Lord. Jeremiah 51:45. The last book of the Bible, the Revelation of John, we see 18 verse 4. Makes this a little clearer. Both prophecies are similar, but the one in Revelation is warning a people to flee out of Babylon so that they be not partaker of her sins of Babylon, receive not of her pledge. This shows that God was going to pledge America and that his people should not suffer divine pledge sent upon America. They are ordered to flee out of her. Jeremiah 51:45. This is a future prophecy of a future Babylon similar to ancient Babylon under the rule of the king. The history of these two kings of ancient Babylon teaches us that they held slaves who were trying to serve the right God. The coming of Allah and the person of Master Flah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, was for the deliverance of the lost and found people, black from a 400-year-old enemy who have never shown them anything but evil, murder, and death. Be very angry, as it was written of him, as I know it to be the truth. He desired nothing more than freedom, justice, and equality for us, the once lost and now found black members of our nation, the original black nations of this earth. America is now at war with God, to God's people, the so-called Negro. The confusion and the pledge of the country with disasters, one right after another, is divine retaliation against white America, evil doing and intentions against her once slaves and her false friendships, which has her opening her home to integrate the people of God with them, who by nature are different or forged. The white man has poisoned our people's minds so thoroughly that they will fight against their own God and starvation to gain the favor of their own enemies. Called Islam, the true religion of God, to us, the one slave of America, is the same call telling us to flee out of America's way of life so our life may be saved from divine destruction of a non-repentant enemy. Jeremiah 51:45. Divine pledge and forging war are now destroying America's standards of life and money. Her deceitful, filthy temptations now being displayed before a one slave and a woman are designing to make the one slave an enemy of his God and his own starvation, and are designed to make them take part with them against the aim and purpose of Allah, which is to set the so-called Negro in heaven while he lived. A prophecy relating to America is mentioned in Isaiah 47, verse 1. As a virgin daughter of ancient Babylon history, as we all know, white America is the last, the greatest, and the richest remaining power of the right nations. But now we see she is falling. And the prophet Isaiah says, "Come, sit down in the dust, humble yourself, for you are no more called delicate." Now we see the filthy display by white American Christians walking around half nude, sitting before their pastors and their churches with dresses halfway up their thighs. For the pastors stare at their new forms, goes on. The pastor should actually be standing at the door telling such disgracefully dressed people they preach the word of God and that God warns us to be clean, both internally and externally, and that we should not tempt the nations to do evil and filth. But he opened his church doors, and he is happy to have them in rows sitting before his eye, knowing that this is against the teaching of God, turning his house of God into a worship of filth and evil. Can the church survive? Can Christianity survive these days of divine judgment against white America? The Revelation reads, we see in a prophecy relating to America, that she had in her a hole for every foul spirit, and a cage we see for every unclean and hateful bird. Revelation 18, verse 2. All hateful birds have a haven in America. And we see all hateful people have a haven. Though the scientists and scholars of the religion of Christianity knows these words to be true, desire yet to see. They're already made blind, deaf, dumb, the so-called go to his doom with them. Since they are by nature evil, they tempt them. The Holy Quran teaches that they only lead you to filth and evil. It's perfectly manifest today in America amongst its people, ruled by the white man. The very consciousness of an individual knows that these evil we see today are not accepted by God. Desire to marry, integrate among people whom God has made to be his and our enemy is beyond one imagination. Jeremiah 51:46 prophesied violency and a milice of Babylon, a future of Babylon, and rulers against rulers. Is this not true of American governments and people today? For whole lands, people shall be confounded. Jeremiah 51:47. Is this not true of American governments and people today? They are fast becoming confounded, and all her slaves shall fall in the midst of her. Jeremiah 51:47. In every hour in the day and night, people are being murdered, killed in America throughout her cities and highways. Murdering and killing is the order of the day in white America. The Bible mentioned that God used a destroying wind, Jeremiah 51, verse 1. And God will kill white America. He will bring her to her knees in humiliation. Psalms chapter 2, verse 4. He will sit in the heavens, and he shall laugh. He will have you in humiliation. It is true. Is this not true that day and night we see in white America, there are destructive tornadoes and storms destroying the properties and life of Americans? See, go to sleep to the reality of the judgment of America. a repetition of ancient Babylon judgment. If you like to be caught in a snare, as God has said, he laid a snare for ancient Babylon. Jeremiah 50:24. And ancient Babylon was taken in that snare. So it is with white America. Long before America ever died, she should repent of her evil we see done to her slave or reject repentancy. See, God has set the snare to catch her. America is now in the same snare that God has set for ancient Babylon. Will America repent that she should be healed, or will she ignore it? Now, modern Babylon is falling. We say modern when we refer to something compared to the past. Now, this name Babylon begins in Genesis chapter 10. In Genesis chapter 10 is spelled Babel. But the same name seems to have changed itself into the name of Babylon. As we come to the most late date history of this name. We see Babylon, according to the history of Babylon throughout the Bible. See, Babylon is referred to as something prophesied as having a failure upon her progress and rise. In Psalms 137:18, we see David prophesied that Babylon was made to be destroyed. See, in Psalms 137:18, David prophesied that Babylon was made to be destroyed. I'm not stopping this war. You tell your world leaders, because Trump is escalating the war. See, Trump is going to die for all the evil. He's going to be accounted. He's going to be accounted for all the evil he's doing. The government shutdown that he wants is going to come right back to him. See, you reap what you sow. So the Bible says, thou hast done, so shall be done to you. See, Luke 6:31, do to others as you want them to do to you. So eat, America, help yourself to this desert of the earth, which you have prepared for us. See, you eat it now. See, all praise is due to the Lord of the world. See, the devil was not made to exist forever. See, this is verified by both the Bible and Holy Quran, and by all writers and teachers of scriptures. So here we see Babylon seen to refer not only to some towns and cities, but it's also seen to refer to a race or a nation of people. And ancient Babylon, as it known by all of us, was a city under the reign of the kings. You see, the fall of Babylon was final. Babylon was never to be rebuilt after a fall, and Babylon was never rebuilt. This point to the same prophecy of the devil and his kingdom in the Revelation of John, the Bible, that Satan and his kingdom will be burnt up and will never rise again. In the letter of Paul, there's a prophecy of the devil and his kingdom. But the devil was made for fuel for the fire. The Holy Quran refers to this prophecy and these words, fuel of hell is man and stone. So the fuel of hell is man and stone. See, we do not know why stones are put there with man. It could be referring to the hardness of the stones, and to the hardness of the hearts, and to the hardness of the wicked against truth and righteousness. In the book of Revelations, the Bible is prophesied that here that an angel, a warning to the people that America is falling. He didn't tell why. America flew. America flew because she had become the habitations of devils, and the whole we see of every foul spirits, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The foul spirit here used to tell us that the people of America was filthy. Now, the term a cage we see. This tells us that our cities, the country became a cage for people of filth. Now, the Bible teaches us that the God refers to the people of Sodom and Gomorrah as being a people who doing and work was such that came up and stunk his nostrils. But I think that if the God will get a good smell of this modern wicked filth here, he would think the smell of Babylon in his nostrils was like the smell of a flower compared to this wickedness of today. See, Babylon used as example for some distant people or the history, according to the prophet. The name Babylon is something that begins in Genesis and ends in Revelation. It is found throughout the entire Bible. Therefore, we must not look at it as one personal part. We must not look at it as spelling out to us the ancient only. In Jeremiah, we see Babylon, we see a daughter of ancient Babylon. He called the people the daughters of ancient Babylon. These people are not the old parents, but they are the daughters from those parents. The daughter of ancient Babylon refers to a morally and modern civilizations, whom people gave themselves over to their practice of the same evil that people of ancient Babylon practiced it. But the modern people was more capable of improving on the practice of the people of ancient Babylon. Therefore, he called this modern people the daughters of ancient Babylon. See, Isaiah 47 verse 1 asks these people, the daughters of Babylon, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin, daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. See, there is no throne for you, nor shall you be called tender or delicate. The daughters of Babylon seem to have been a very rich people, and they have fallen from a state of great wealth. Isaiah used Babylon as a pretty girl who loved her used to be plentiful because of her wealth and her attractiveness. Now she had become ill-looking and had no more attractions upon the people. So he says, sit down in dust. You are no more respected and attracted to the people. The prophet Jeremiah warns ancient Babylon that she have a daughter coming. This daughter met the fate destined for Babylon. She was made to be taken. See, Satan was made to be taken and destroyed. Why was Satan made to be taken and destroyed? Because she had become a place where evil was practiced. So now, she was like a bird that goes out and associate with birds other than her own. And she become a hateful bird. She is hated by all of the other birds. Now Trump goes into foraging countries. And you know why he comes back with no kind of negotiation. And he's hated by all other foraging countries. He's like a hated bird that goes out to associate the problem that the country is having. And then he realized he goes back home, he's hated by all other foraging countries. So now Babylon, we see, fill herself up with people of that sort. The USA came into the Western hemisphere and chased all the Indians. But America invited everyone of the poor class who wanted to come from Europe to make themselves a home here in America, the Indians' country, which they stole. We see all of the poor and evil citizens of Europe. America welcomes them. She invited every race of the nation to come and join in with her in a free country we see where evil and filth are openly practiced without hindrance. America have done just this. She have filled up her country with all evil people. White America did not allow Islam nor a preacher of Islam to come into her country. The America did not want a good religion child. America made a religion that she could rule, control herself. She made it attractive to the eyes and ears of those who see and hear it by teaching them basically that there was three gods instead of teaching them the teaching of Moses and the prophet, the teaching of one God. This is why you got Christian nationalism. This is why a nation is divided. See, America makes it possible in our guard heads. If one of them does not like you, see, you may plead to another. If one does not let you by, see, one of the three will. See, this is country to the very laws of nature we see. It is country to America's own mathematical language. In mathematics, it is not possible to put the three into one. So we see America having this religion, country, to the truth today. The author of truth is condemning her. America. We see America is nothing but a foul, an evil place to live. She had no respect for her own self, nor for anyone else. See, Trump don't have no respect for his own people. So when I see a government shutdown, he don't have no respect for his own people. She will disrob, we see in the public, and go newest. We see America even have newest colonies, wherein if you desire to go nude, see, you can do so. If the public does not want you. We see in the Bible, we see Revelation 18, verse 4 and 5 tells us, in the Revelation of John, a people are warned to flee out of her. Here, we get the name Babylon to become a modern day people. The voice we see of an angel warns the people of Satan class to fly out of Babylon, which refer to our America. Come out from our people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her pledge. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities, as being an evil people we see today. So the angels notify us saying, Babylon, we see the great is falling today. We see this thing going on. See, there's no people to be warned to come out of another people that answer to the description of this warning so clearly as the so-called Negro. In white America, the law found people of the black kind does. Here we see the so-called Negro is warned to fly out of her and not to be partaker of her judgment, her torment. The angel says, so much evil has she done to you. Revelation 18, verse 6. We ward her, even as she has rewarded you, and double into her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. See, Allah God and the person Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, said to me that there's nothing that you can do to her and a way of evil that could match the evil that she has already done to us. See, this is why the revoltators call the people modern Babylon beasts, for they live the kind of life of wild beasts. They have no mercy for themselves or for anyone else. They are made, although there are a few who will believe and escape the doom of her brothers. This is the reward just by faith. But the black man is created by the Creator, by nature, and he was made blind, deaf, and dumb by his kidnapping Lord, Master, the white slave masters. I do not think that you can overlook the most positive truth here in this article, that we are now living in a call of angels to us to come out of her. The her here means this wicked world of the devil. Since we, the black people, was kidnapped and forced into this world of the right race, we must be forced out of this world. It is not that you, my people, will accept by just having the freedom to accept your own choices. No, you will have to be punished, divinely beaten, and destroyed until you accept Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, as your God and Savior, as I and 1,000 of my followers are doing. Do not think that the 144,000 prophesied of are the only ones who will be saved. The 144,000 refers to the first convert, the first right fruits to God and his messengers. The first right fruit of God and a lamb. Another prophecy warns us that Babylon's falling, never to rise again. And this warning, it teaches you that the country we see and the people of modern Babylon will become like the people and city of ancient Babylon that was destroyed and had not risen up a people or a city since its destruction. I warn you, my black brothers, black sisters, that unless you believe in Almighty, God, Allah, and Master Fard Muhammad, as I do, receive the names of the holy and perfect God, you will never see the hereafter. The Bible warns you and me that on the final destruction of the wicked, Allah God will say to angels that he has to usher in the judgment to bring his people to him, everyone that is called by his name. For he had give his people his name so that he may save them, so that they may be the servants of Allah God, as they was the servants of their white slave master. See, Trump is felling the country. A lot of y'all think that he's doing the right thing for a government shutdown. Y'all think like fools. Y'all voted for him. Yeah, we don't want y'all pointing a finger at us, because look, they making black people be the targets of America. And see, we know that this is the ruling on the awakening. We know something big is gradually approaching, something brewing in America. And she had all this time to get this thing right. Now, the question, will America repent? I doubt it. See, as long as you are in the name of these white slave masters, see, you belong to this white slave master. Regardless to what you believe, and regardless to how mighty you think that you are, you will not be accepted by the black people and the God of our black people if you have the names of white people, and if you are in that religion called Christianity. See, the fall of white America we see is now going on. She is falling. See, the cause of her fall is universally known, as it was with ancient Babylon. Before ancient Babylon was known, great prophet Daniel, the mouth speaks of God, was in her millers. And his people, the Jews, was enslaved. See, ancient Babylon, according to her history, during the reign of the kings. See, the Jews suffer under the ruthless laws of these two kings against the Jewish God, religion, and people. See, these two rulers of ancient Babylon disrespect everything regarded as sacred religion, the worship of Jehovah by the Jews. They took Jerusalem and captured the nobles of Israel. They raided and sacked the cities and the Jew house of worship. They made mockery of all that stood for Jehovah and the Jews. They made mockery of the prophets and the sacred vessel that God had King Solomon made and put in the house of worship of the Jews so that they should be sacred. The kings we see in his nephew or grandson, according to some historians, gave the Jews no honor, no respect whatsoever under both of their reign. See, God made an example of them to serve as an example of a future people, oppositions, disrespect of God and his people. Master Fard Muhammad, who is alive in person, wants to make it clear that he has chosen the American so-called to be his people. The truth that he gives to them, and they themselves are sacred before his eyes in a world of the righteous. Showing disrespect to God and his people is inviting the punishment and doom of God. And careful our servant, a seeker of truth at the time in history being made in these times, can easily see how well we see the history of ancient Babylon, its rulers and its people fits in with the history of the rulers and people of America and England. America, we see enslavement of the so-called Negro, and England enslavement of the people fits so completely with the history of ancient Babylon that it cannot be denied that the ancient history we see of the Babylonians empire people was a white America. See, America wants everyone to believe she is right and are wicked dealing with the people of this earth. With her might of arm, commanding the high seas and land around the global, she wished everyone to think she is right and building up an armed and fortune countries. And on their sword, a glistening, deadly navy with gun trained we see on 40 people, towns and cities, as they dare without any cause. See, this only showed her pride and daring aggressive acts against people who would like to be at peace. She had her feet setting on 20 and 30 million black people brought out of their native lands and people from their God and their religion by her fathers, and have forced them to remain on her feet of power for the past 400 years. She deprived them of the knowledge of self, the right race, their own people, and their religion. For 300 years, she did not allow them to worship any religion at all, not even her own religion, just Christianity. She had robbed them of their divine rights. Now we see, with her great show of temptation put before the same slave and a world at large, she should not be surprised, my brothers and sisters, to see and feel the hands of God writing her doom on the walls of her governments. We see this judgment of white America. Judgment have come to you, America. We see it when it comes to the great, dreadful days of the Lord has now come to America. We see the land and people who worship evil. We see this robbery, murder, rape, famine, and deceits are the orders of the days in white America. If there is anything like God of righteousness, if there is anything like God of truth, should he not raise himself up and take his place and put an end to such evil as is now going on in white America? People cannot walk the streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, or rape. See, America is a wicked land. See, everyone is against the other. Righteousness, we see, justice, and freedom are despised and fought against. See, regardless to the clear knowledge of God's hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelations. In the Bible, they continue their evil ways and did blaspheme the God who had power over these pledge. They hated the name of Allah, the great Mahdi. They hated the name of his messengers. But nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction of white America. See, look at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But there is no peace in them. We have done nothing to them. They are against us just because the idea that we are Muslims, black people. The white man have his way of ruling the black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so. While in reality, the white man have come to an end of his time of power to rule the black people. See, regardless to allow God retaliation to the white man for his evil act done to the black man, the white man still keeps inviting the retaliation of Allah God. The white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah God and his servants, who has power. We see this judgment of white America. See, judgment have come to you, America, whom to you who seeks to fight against Allah, God, and against his aim and purpose. Whom to you, America, Allah God has made you blind to his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath. When a man does not know the danger of fire, then he can fall headlong into it. America has mistreated the black man for 400 years, and she does not think that there is ever a God who will accept her black slave and return on her head the injustice done to her black slave. This is the day and time in which America could benefit from what Allah God have revealed to me and from the work that I'm doing amongst my black people, turning them from doing evil into righteousness. As it is written in the Bible, Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for a healing if she had not gone to extreme by making fun of the God of the Jews and the temple in Jerusalem and belittling the power of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies of the pledge that will come upon white America, and these pledges are falling on white America now, yet she will not repent. For white America continue to kill and deprive the black one slave of righteousness and justice. Even though the black slave wants to go from white America, she wants to hold on to him. And white America does not want to let her black slave go. See, white America holds the black one slave for a prey. Whom to America, her days have arrived. She will not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separated from her on a little territory and state to ourselves, Let us be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused it. So we see it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. See, God went down to Egypt to make Israel and her enemies, the Egyptian, an example for future people, so that these may serve as a sign of what we see going on in America today. The four great judgments we see that Allah God promised to destroy white America, which are now coming upon her receive. Hail, snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah God hath reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against this wicked country of America in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God's weapons, the storms that we see going on. The white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. Before the white man translates the Bible, he knows what he puts in his translation of that which was written in the Bible. The judgment of America, all love and respect of the wicked have gone from them. They do not love each other, nor respect each other. They have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. You see some of the white people rehearsing the cage days of their fathers. And we see they are not ashamed to do so. They come out with long, straggly hair, as their fathers did, we see, in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing the white man to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet, a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man. It is a shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their backs and over their face by misleading the black man and to fall in the way of the white man cage days. To the white man again telling the world how he had deceived the black man. Now making this black man manifest that he's too weak to seek his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to this black man in America that we should accept on. Instead of this black man going to the decent side of his own, he goes back seeking transitional Africa in the way they did in the jungle life and the way you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. They are not using barber tools, sneers, razors to keep themselves looking identified as a civilized people should look. See, the black man in America accept the jungle life. See, thinking that they would get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing the savage dress and hairstyles will not get you love for Africa. The people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you will get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest. As it is written, we see. In the Bible, we see. Revelation, she is a cage, we see, of every unclean and hateful bird. Every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, your days have come. With evil done to your black slave. America, you cannot repay that evil with another evil of trying to tempt the black slave by offering the white woman. That does not help you in this day. But it does condemn you as being a double crosser. That you will even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please, if they will just follow you. The judgment of white America. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America is just beginning to experience sorrows, mourning, grief, and distrust for anger of God and man. According to both the Holy Quran and the Bible. There will be plenty more of the same. In these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that's happening today. Time will grow so terrible, son, that according to the Holy Quran, children will become gravehead. And according to the Bible, great heart failures will become a disease upon the people who have anger of God, the American people. The fourth beast we see in the Revelation of John in the Bible, and which Daniel described as a very dreadful and well-armed beast, working on that of death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. Daniel's description of a rib between the teeth of the beast is in referencing to this ill treatment we see. Subjection, ruthless behaviors by the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, refuses to let the prisoners go free. This is due to our heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. This beast, white man, lies and waits around the black man homes and probe the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. If the black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead, unable to defend himself against false charges we see. Now, there was a young black man, a boxer, I think his name was Terrence. I wasn't following that case up, but I noticed he was celebrating. And in his hometown, these cops were just so upset. They followed this man and they stopped him because they saying that he was driving reckless. But I'm saying this to say this. Whenever there's a color, there's a problem we have. See, this racism stuck with us. He didn't do nothing wrong. But at his hometown, celebrating a victory. See, this injustice has stuck with us. See, let me talk to you about this beast, because this beast keeps his people in sorrow and unhappiness by depriving them of equal opportunity. See, when it comes to this black man, wages are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called Negro from saving by skyrocketing and the views we see of the poor, the prices of the necessary of lives. See, this white beast we see persecutes, imprison, and kill those who preach freedom and justice for the poor, so-called Negro. See, this white man does not want this so-called Negro to leave America. But she will not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken, by force or arm, and killing its owners, the Indians with them. See, this beast set up evil to be allies as a god. She discussed good for evil. She covered the earth with filth, making it fascinating so that man will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for a joy, and then she kills both of them. Whom to America the murderers and deceivers of the people, the God of justice and truth have pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. You have made mockery of him, God, his people, his words, and the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American, the lost and now found members of the black nations of this earth. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You won't have to go anywhere if you only unite with your own. Heaven awaits you wherever you may be. And see, the true brothers of the black man is the brown, yellow, and red. Those is our half brothers. See, when I see no black is allowed, no Latinos allowed, and no Asian allowed, nor poor people is allowed. So this is why America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. The four great judgment that Allah God is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. We see them now covering her on all her sides of America, as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtain her on all her sides. Now, Surah 13:41 says, we have visited land and curtain her on all her sides. And these judgments will push the people into the center of the country. And they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and a country to a nothing. We see Job and the Bible prophesies that Allah God has that snow and ice to use as his weapons in the days of war and battle against the wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hill like little mountains of snow we see are pushing down from the north, not only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana, but there are now the snow is in the New England states we see, and they are declared to be disaster area. Now, the announcer, a disaster of snow we see in the New England states, says that there had never been such great quantity of snow. We see all up and down the coast to Carolina. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. We see all around the southern borders of America. Storms we see are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain. And more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north and far west and the east, America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. There are earthquakes and the seas is raging. We see the Pacific Ocean is now angry and is raging and is tossing up great waves as never before. Now, brothers and sisters, why should these things hit America? The Revelation teach you why. It is because white America is filled with devils, and as such unclean person living in America. That is true. Under hateful birds we see. See, every filthy, shameless, wicked person comes here for a haven, where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And the country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see, the few little Muslims, who name Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God. See how the enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. These are new times. The enemy does not get away and punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of righteousness, is with us, and he just laughs at those who try to fight against him. He had destroyed whole nations with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. The Holy Quran has the record of people even being destroyed. Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a black arm or a mountain to throw it on. He used that which is with you against you. The force of nature are great weapons as we see them in play upon white America. Storm after storms of snow and ice are rolling in from the north and are pushing great drift that are just covering up everything. Now, what can you do with a God like that? See, Job prophesied it. The Allah God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. He just takes some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that Allah God destroyed people with just cold winds. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? See, no wonder second Psalm says that he will sit in the heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He will have you crazy. It is true. The heads of the governments of the Christian world are confused. And they do not know that they are confused. Why? Because the great desire was to confuse us. Now Allah God has taken confusion out of us and put into them. Now eat, America. Now help yourself to the desert that you have prepared for us. See, you eat it. See, all praise are due to Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. We went to Alabama, and any states that we go to, we pay a high price per acre of land that our father labor has already brought for us. Now he wants to kill us if we act humble and peaceful, want to buy back some of our own labors. See, I laugh at some of these things that are here coming out of Alabama, and not only in Alabama, but in every other states in the Union. They do not know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take this country from you and give it to whom he pleases. It is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and gave it to whom he pleases, those who will bring people into righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. For a great judgment we see a rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and a confusion in the head of states. To be pledged with too much rain, we see will destroy properties and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain we see will flood cities and towns. Large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the now seashore lines. Rain will destroy properties and kill cattle by drowning them in lowlands. Rain destroy the hiding places of victorious beasts, reptiles, bringing them out fighting these small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens and destroys railroads we see, truck lines, bed, and bridges. Rain undermines foundations, all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness to the people. Wind with rain can bring destruction to towns and cities, bringing germs, causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain is the destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a property and life destroyer. Snow is of the most dreaded pledge when it comes in great drift from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways, your cities, and your gravel towns and cities. It put a burden of expanse upon the cities to repair it. We see the cage in or roofs of homes, the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolation areas, bring about the starvation, and communication is destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. Snow look pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything in nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow, we see, is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked of America. Job 38:22 and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same two verses, where godly plainly teach us that he hath preserved it against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war. Holy Quran also teach us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Is white America any better than the people read about in history that God destroys? No. She is not as good. People was not as wicked as the American people. Earthquakes, we see, can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in a grip of divine judgment. See, white America is in the position towards the one slave, so-called, as Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position because an injustice done to the American so-called Negro slave brought to America over 400 years ago and refuses to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to lead them without anything. But the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophet to come to the defense of these people, the so-called nickel, in the last days after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declared to Abraham in Genesis that God will judge the people to whom his people Abraham will be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of their black nations, who have and are feeling the prophecy. God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad will not be defeated. The more evil, deceiving, tricking, making false promises to the American so-called nickel only increases America divine chastisement, doom. America knows there are troubled lies and the mistreatment of the black man, the so-called nickel. But she is too wicked to give up tricking her Negro and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. The opportunity is to open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting enemy, according to the history of the former people. He delights himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with white America. They must be separate. See, white America would not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered. The same things that other evil nations suffered before them is now coming upon these people. She seeks to keep a slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to the American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down. She deceived them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in a political circle, class, and all professional classes. She offered them a little favoritism to work against their own people to black people. But they too will suffer along with the enemy of justice, or the poor so-called nickel. They must be separated. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching of social integration. The truth must come. What is better than a program you find I have written? You two blacks and whites cannot get along in peace, since you have never gotten along in peace. Do you know why white America does not like to talk with you about separation? And why he calls separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree to separate themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black man and the white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called nickel, seek some of this earth to live on in peace. Unite and ask this government for a portion of America. This is what we need, somewhere to live to ourselves, and let this white man live to himself. Two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah. Come follow me. The Holy Quran we see, Surah 13:41. America lands being divinely cursed. See they not that we are visiting the land, curtain it of its size, and Allah pronounced a doom, and there is no repeller of his decree, and he is shrift and calling to account. Black man in America, there is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against white America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah, God, and the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of the truth, and have been preaching to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As white America has done, so now is being done to her. See, America has surrounded the country of the people. She had blown the cities to pieces. She had killed the inhabitants. Those who were left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter, from destruction by American mites. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America has done, which are now coming on this country. For many years, we see centuries of years, America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways and the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage, and she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible we see, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in the lurching places of the village and in secret places. Do he murder innocents? His eyes against the poor. James chapter 5, verse 6. You have condemned the innocent ones who is not opposing you. So we see up into this very minute, she's seeking to destroy the black man in America and to deprive him of freedom to do for self. See, right? America never desired departure of the black slave from his white slave masters. See, America wished only to hold the black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. Now Isaiah 43 verse 6 says, I'll say to the north, bring that back. Bring my son from afar and my daughter from the end of the earth. America, Pharaoh, hatred, injustice to Israel and Egypt we see. In the time of Moses, should serve America as a warning. But we see she had fallen headlong into the destruction of Allah God. See, America runs to and fro, seeking a way out. She does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nations of the earth. America made us into nothing, and she used us to mock us for the nations of this earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave, and he has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come to that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he is here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our life. Why America divide us one against the other? The black man and America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them, lest they take advantage of it and call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. See, Midway Technical Schools came to us for help. We gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free of their backwoods and other bills that they had. Take a good look at how they had turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America we see. Foretold, separation is the answer. The Holy Quran, Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when the cities are set on fire, and when man is united, and when hell is kindled, the folding up is the title taken from the first verse of that chapter, in which the above verses are found. When the sun is folded up, Holy Quran, Surah 81, verse 1, prophesies the folding up of a recorded work. A record of what people have done as you use will no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what takes place in the resurrection. One part is recorded as the beginning, while the other part is discontinued. We see this clearly made manifest today. War caused destruction of civilization. War destroys cities and towns of a nation. It's chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun and the stars and mountains, camels and wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter, and are not without. The coming of God refers to by the prophet is to unite a people who have been divided against self by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible refers to destruction of this revelation of a beast and his chief instructor, the dragon. The name beast given here is not referring to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. The Theosophians, most of them from the time of Martin Luther, who I think was the author of these terms. See, beast, dragons, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Radford, founder of Jehovah's Witness sect, takes the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we have been lost on this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God who is now present. Why should the master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he is a free citizen with equality. Why do you Slave master want to hold them for hostage prey. You do not need them. Your machines do the labor that slave used to do. Why not let them go? Now they got this AI, they got these robots. They don't need us. So I want to say this. You don't have to look for a high paying job to draw a big roll of money after this war. Nor do you have to look for a settlement after this war. Because the time has approached. So now, why do you slave masters want to hold us for hostage? Pray. See, you do not need us anymore. Your machines can do the labor that slave used to do. See, why not let us go? See, you want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you slave before you, Pharaoh, had that same idea. He did not want Israel to go free in the land to themselves. See, Pharaoh lost the war against Allah and was drowned in the Red Sea. The loser of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slaves, she can easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing today, killing and provoking them through police force, National Guards, and finally the U.S. Army, as we see in Washington, D.C. American actions show us two things. You see, firstly, she wished to cause fear amongst so-called niggas with a display of many deadly weapons. But Allah is moving to fear. Secondly, she approached her armed slave unless she is armed. This had been a historical relation between the white man and his slaves. So the white man seeks the leadership of the so-called men to help him keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, "Nigga, you should be happy now. You are better off than many of your black kind with a job." The white slave master brought our fathers here to do slave work. Our free laborers have made the white slave master richer than their brethren, Europeans. So they offer us any of this land that they took from the Indians. The 22 million so-called Negro should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of itself. The white slave master only offers a job. Allah God has come in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, to free us. The Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God has said to Elijah Muhammad, they intend to free the American so-called Negro at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called Negro without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. We the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There is not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned it and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people, as you have divided the so-called men, one against the other. So Allah shall divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you as a power. The house doomed to fall. See, we cannot deny the fact that the Christian rest is responsible for this universal corruption and land and sea. And the same corruption that their own hands have made will come their doom. The Christian preach that which they do not do and cannot do, as love your neighbor. I have yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as did himself. Thou shalt not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. We see today they even will fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as world peacemakers with whom? The great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. Had they not corrupted many people? And nation, on a good, peaceful, loving Christian, Christian rest is full of the worst crime, practicing evil to the fullest, and seeking to practice them on other nations as well. The universal temper are ever parading before the world. We see they both have new girls and women. They are before your eyes. And almost everything we see: murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drug, adultery, lying. There is hardly any end to it. The lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of wars. The islands of the seas are filled with corruptions for all the nation of earth. For they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised according to their wishes. The religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of slavery teachings. They are poisoning the Bible with their adding to and taking from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work.